Well, let's get started. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the June 2025 PowerShell Community Call, where everyone is welcome to join and discuss the PowerShell project and its development. We have our agenda posted in the meeting chat and a link to the meeting discussion. Please feel free to post questions in the discussion issue or right here in chat. And, well, please follow our code of conduct. We really care about that. For announcements, happy summer. Welcome to the summer, everybody. We've made it. I know some of you are warmer than others, so enjoy. With that, let's go ahead and dive in with our agenda for today. And I think first up, I think I saw you around, Stephen. Stephen, do you want to talk about AI Shell this morning?
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the latest AI show release. Let me just share my screen for the blog. I was preparing a demo this morning, and my computer and my API keys decided they all needed to reset themselves. So, gonna have to just show off some of the stuff I've posted in the blog. We just released AI Shell Preview 4. Actually, technically, Preview 5 came out last week, but that was just a small security fix. So Preview 4 has a lot of the new features available to it. So some of the key things that we have improved is macOS support. We made a macOS support with iTerm 2 much more reliable and workable. So you can see here, I'm actually in iTerm 2 in this GIF here, and we can start AI Shell, and a side pane opens up with iTerm 2, and you can get the same experience that you get in Windows Terminal, which is pretty sweet. So you'll see me just typing a command to my OpenAI agent, and then I can get a response back, and it can post it and do all the same stuff with it. And you can see, this is a disk, a Mac kind of command. I can post it here, run it, and go on my merry way. So made a lot of really essential quality improvements there, so you have a lot more parity. Another cool thing that we supported is support for Microsoft Entra ID. We heard really good feedback around, putting keys in these configs doesn't make sense, and so we supported Entra ID for Azure OpenAI. So if you use an Azure OpenAI instance and have a deployment, you no longer need to put your API key in your configuration to get it connected to AI Shell. Here's kind of a description of the configuration you can do for it, and then we support all the credential hierarchy with that Entra ID supports. Usually the best way to do it is via Azure CLI or Azure PowerShell, or any of these other credentials. Yeah, so that now works pretty seamlessly as well. Some other things that we've included is additional commands to invoke AI Shell to kind of keep you in the flow of your current terminal here. And so what you can do now is kind of operate and use AI Shell directly from your working terminal. I can invoke AI Shell, ask a question, and see that question put on the side, so my main buffer isn't really cluttered with descriptions and generated code and stuff. So I can kind of refer to my working shell this way, and then I can even post it directly. So I can say, hey, copy the code. It's going to copy it, and I can paste it in my window if I'd like, or I can run invoke AI Shell code or postcode, and it will, the next item I have there, so you can reduce the number of copy and paste you do there. So would love some feedback on this. If this is kind of a right flow you feel better fits your workflow within the CLI, give it a shot, and please feel free to drop some suggestions in our GitHub page. The last thing is we added a new experimental agent called PhiSilica. This is only available on Copilot plus PCs, and it is allowing you to have an offline experience with AI Shell. This is very experimental, and so you can only build it if you build it from the repo source. But essentially, you get the same experience as you get with AI Shell, but you can do it in an offline scenario. And so the PhiSilica agent connects you to the PhiSilica model that comes with the Copilot plus PC, so you can get AI assistance without having to be online, which is a fun scenario there. And yeah, but very early on, it's going to be buggy, it's going to be tricky for its first iteration, but wanted to call that out. Number of other minor improvements, but I'll post this blog in the chat, and it will show you how to install AI Shell and links to our repo and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's a bit about AI Shell. I think I kind of covered everything with the latest release. And so I posted the blog there. Yeah, the demo gods were not in my favor. I apologize for that. It's been a hectic morning, but that's why I recorded GIFs for the blog. So um, I will be, yeah, and I'll address some of the questions in the chat. If there's any other questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, and I'll pass it back to Jason to keep the agenda going.
Hey, Stephen, I'm really excited about the Phi Silica experimentation. That'll be kind of cool. Really excited to see how that works out. So next up, I'm the next one up. So let's talk about DSC. So I don't know if you've been following us along on this journey or not, but in March of this year, we released DSC version 3, specifically 3.0.0. And since that release, we've had a couple of servicing releases, 3.01, 3.02. Along the way with that, we've also been pushing out previews for 3.1. Well, yesterday, congrats, Steve and team, we released 3.1.0 as general availability for DSC. Now, this particular release for DSC was mainly work for internal partners like Winget and some other internal teams. So a huge shout out and thank you for all of the work from Winget and the Winget team. So a lot of the updates in there were for the internal partners. Some of it was community-based as well. Just looking a little bit more forward, I think, there's a strong possibility that maybe even as early as next week, Steve might release the first preview for 3.2. What we're going to be focusing on during the 3.2 run is a couple things. We still have a lot of work we're going to be doing with internal partners. We have the DSC working group and DSC community helping us out greatly, and a huge shout out to the DSC community right now. There are some folks out there that have been doing a tremendous amount of work with us on version 3 that has been very important and very impactful. So these folks will be highlighted more in blogs as we move forward and stuff like that. But I wanted to give a huge shout out. The work you've been doing has been greatly appreciated. As we look at the focus for 3.2, we're going to focus in on things like community stuff and some other internal partner work. And we're also going to focus in on Bicep. So we announced with 3.0.0 that Bicep is the DSL that we're looking towards. And we've had some great proof of concepts with Bicep so far. Now we're actually doing a lot of the work to make sure that we kind of close all of the loops so that we can both release and talk more about how to use Bicep in building configurations. And yeah, we're looking at all of the things that you would have expected if you were using PSDSC and the PowerShell DSL, but just elevated up into Bicep. And a lot of those same concepts, that kind of thing, that work into Bicep. The beauty behind Bicep is, and what I love most about this is that as somebody that is on-prem doing, let's just say, server configurations, yes, it is a shift, but it's a small shift to using Bicep. But here's the great thing for me, and this is what I hope to show when we get towards Ignite and stuff like that, is that with Bicep, I can do all of my work on-prem, and then I can take that same stuff and just drop it, move it on into Azure. And I can add infrastructure as code. So I can add the Azure infrastructure as code, and everything works the way you expect. There's only one set of tooling that you have to know. DSC is running underneath the hood that'll take care of enacting the resources, enacting those configurations. So really looking forward to that work and looking forward to talking more about it as we get around to that. And I think that's all I have on the DSC front, except I also want to post in, I forgot to do this part. Let me drop a link to the announcement blog that we just had. And let me go on to the next thing. Oh, so Aditya, there's a CDN update for PowerShell Gallery you want to talk about?
Muted, sorry. So I have a quick announcement. We updated CDN URLs for PowerShell Gallery and OneGet. So if you have firewalls for firewall rules in your enterprise or in your environment, please you would need to open up 2 extra rules. I'm sending them in chat over here. So we had some hiccups with OneGet. We missed updating a couple of URLs within the SWIT tags. So it was some customers did see some issues downloading the NuGet provider, but those have been fixed. If you still see issues, please report it to the PSC SourceGate repository or the PowerShell repository. We do monitor both of them. And in other news, we are planning to have a PSC SourceGate preview coming very soon, hopefully next week. We are waiting on an excellent community PR from his GitHub name is Olaf for getting dependencies from NuGet v3 repositories, which was missing for a long time. So really looking forward for that and getting feedback about that. Thank you.
Oh, outstanding. Thanks, Aditya. And Alex, you're up next to talk about some updates to AZ CLI and Azure PowerShell.
Yes. Let me share my screen. Yes, can you see my screen?
Yep, sure can.
Yeah. Okay, I will start. For the Azure CLI and PowerShell feature update, the WARM currently is the default authentication mechanism on the Windows. So you can see like this demo screenshot. So we providing enhancement authentication capabilities for the CLI and PowerShell in here. And also, if users want to switch back to the original flow, also can switch back. And we can see currently, we can see the adoption rate of the WARM 84% for the PowerShell and 93% for the Azure CLI. So our goal is drive to an adoption rate of 90% of this both tool. Yeah, and this is the first update. And second one for the Azure PowerShell only. Currently we have the get access token, which is a start from the AZ 40.0.0 introduced a breaking change because we updated this parameter, the output parameter token from string to security string. And this is, I think this is a significantly impact for this this command because this command usage is larger, and we make the security string as a default. So this is and this change involved in the AZ account, which is a very popular module in the Azure PowerShell command. So this is a example in here, get access token. So in this token, we will output a security string. And if you want to convert this string, you can use this command script to convert. Yeah, this is for the Azure PowerShell feature update. Another one is for the Azure CLI and Azure PowerShell both. We already announced we support the long-term solution, long-term support release LTS version. In the November 2024 Azure PowerShell, we already announced the LTS and the STS versions, and we provide a visibility management tools. For in the 2025 in May, we announced CLI support the STS and the LTS both. So we allow users to choose the version that fit their project needs, whether it's prefer stability or LTS version, or want to stay up to date with the latest feature in STS release. So users can continue choose this both version, and welcome to give us feedback. If you have any questions or issues, can give us the GitHub issue feedback. Yeah. So this is the CRI life cycle and the PowerShell life cycle doc. Another update is for the Azure Compiler's response quality and performance for the Azure CRI and the PowerShell. So in the past 6 months, we have optimized the following scenarios. So we introduced the Azure concept documentation to the rack to provide more accurate and comprehensive answers, and also improve the accuracy and the relevance of knowledge retrieval query and chunking strategies. And we also support more accuracy reject of out of scope questions. So this is what we optimize. So also we encourage the users can use our Azure Copilot to try the Azure CRI and the PowerShell script. If any questions, and you can feedback to us. Yeah. And next, we have some plan for the authentication broker. We will be rolling out the support WSL OS. So this is one planning in the next 3 months or 6 months. Another one is for the multiple factor authentication MFA. We will rolling out in the CRI and PowerShell in early September. So we will encourage you can upgrade to the MFA promptly. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks, Alex. Really appreciate it. Before we turn to Sean for a docs update, I want to add an agenda item. I just got a side chat here, and I thought, well, why not just talk about it? So the question was on PlatyPS. Some of you have been following us along with PlatyPS, and I just wanted to give you an update of where we're at. We are this close to actually RCing and then GAing PlatyPS, getting it out. We've been working with an internal content partner who has been feverishly working away on rebuilding brand new pipelines to use the new PlatyPS and test all of the content. And I also happen to know that when Sean comes on, you could even ask him about it, but Sean has been working through some content issues as well to make it all happen. And the testing is going really well. So we're hoping that we can close on this RC here any day now, and then start moving it towards GA in a pretty rapid fashion with that partner. And then we look forward to, looking forward with community and additional partner requests for it. So thanks for your interest in PlatyPS. And with that, let me go ahead and, Sean, I know you're around here somewhere. You want to give us a docs update and tell us how hard you've been working on PlatyPS?
Yeah, so not a lot of new stuff so far in June for a couple reasons. The first couple of weeks I've been out of office moving my son across country and getting him married off. But
congrats.
Also been doing a lot of content remediation to support the new PlatyPS. It's been a Herculean task, and I've barely scratched the surface. But yes, we're getting very close. It looks really nice. You're going to see major changes to the layout of the docs, and I know I'm looking forward to this being released. So anyway, with that, let me share my screen and we can talk about what's new in docs. I'll drop a bunch of links here. Let me get to the right chat. There we go. One new article released in May about performance when doing parallel execution and how to optimize for parallel execution. And then a bunch of release updates. Also retired 5,300 articles in the Windows Server PowerShell content for all the old, now unsupported versions of Windows. The new article here about parallel execution talks about the trade-offs and how to measure performance, and some examples here about which things are perform better than others. As always, your mileage may vary depending on your environment and the tasks that you're trying to parallelize, but a fun article here that shows you how to measure that and figure out what works best for your solution. And a shout out to Santiago Squarzon and Mr. Michael Clement for their Stack Overflow post that outlined all of this. I used a lot of their information with their permission. This has already been talked about a bit, but I just want to point it out. We've updated the documentation for PS Resource Kit, talking about support for the Microsoft Artifact Registry. So you can now register the MAR as a repository for PS Resource Kit, and it's a read-only repository for you. But as we publish more items there, you'll be able to pull them from there. Now a trusted source for products published by Microsoft. I know Azure PowerShell is out there now. I'm not sure what else. Stephen already talked about updates to the AI shell. I've updated the documentation here. Also wanted to point out that as part of the updates came in preview 2, he added support for all of these OpenAI compatible models, and preview 4 supports the following OpenAI models, and also documentation here about the Entra ID authentication. So this has all been updated. DSC 3.0, we need to, I need to update this to say 3.1 now. So 3.1 has gone GA. Big shout out to Mikey for all the hard work he's done on not only helping design the product, but documenting, and we're only scratching the surface here. One of the things I want to point out, I really love the work he's done here in the release notes. It's not just your change log that you see in GitHub. It's actually useful information, and if you want to dig into the details, you can click the expand the related work items and see the issues and PRs for each of these new features that have been introduced. Oh, and yes, that was for the life cycle that was we were talking about previously. The other thing that I wanted to point out, you may notice that the layout on the doc site has changed a little bit. I know that some of this is being done as a user test, so you may not see these changes yet. I'm not sure if they've gone fully deployed, but the big change here is on the right nav. Now you'll have the article TOC in the right nav like we used to have, and this is floating. So as you scroll down, it stays there at the top of the screen, and you can click to go back, and the additional resources are now added at the bottom. So I think it's a better user experience for everyone. And that is my docs update.
Well, that's a fantastic update. And thank you, Sean, for also shouting out. I meant to earlier as well, shout out to Mikey for not just the great doc work, but the great design work as well. And I noticed Mikey put in that he promises to keep the change log more up to date. Yeah, that's great. Okay, great, folks. We've pretty much come to the end of the show. So if you have any questions or anything that you might want to put into the chat real quick that we can answer, while you do that, a couple of upcoming things just to make sure that you're aware of. I think what is it? Next week is PSConf EU. Wow, how fast time has flown. And looking forward to everybody having a great show at PSConf EU. A huge shout out to Gail and all the folks that'll be there. Yeah, really looking forward to that. Also, every time I think about PSConf EU, that reminds me to, well, now start thinking about PSConf North America for next year. I know that's kind of far away, but there's some other things in the middle that are coming up. Things like there's Tech Mentor that's coming up towards the end of the year here in Redmond. And I know that several of us are going to be attending and speaking at that. Also, of course, Microsoft Ignite is coming up where, boy, I sure hope we have some great announcements for that. So there's all kinds of interesting things come up. I'm not quite caught up on what the user groups are doing. I should be, but I'm not. I'm sure the user groups have some things going on. So, question in there from Heiss. Will the PlatEPS repository accept pull requests by the community? The answer is post GA. We'll have that conversation with you. So yeah, once we get the partner work done and we've stabilized that, so post GA is when we'll really start being very interested in community issues and community PR. So we'll talk more about that. Go ahead, Sean.
And we have a lot of work to do in the repository. We're going to reorganize the branches so that the master branch will be the new release, and there'll be a separate branch for the old version. And so stuff's going to move around. Once we have all that stabilized, then yeah, we're going to clean out the old issues because we're not going to touch the 0.14 branch anymore, and everything will be going forward on the new version.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for your interest, Heiss. I appreciate it. And the book and all the other stuff. So, okay, folks, we are at time. Oh, we managed to get through another one again together. Isn't that wonderful? All right, so I hope you all have a wonderful beginning to your summer, and we'll see you all next month.